So it seems that there were some behind the scenes drama between that of Todd Phillips and DC Studios, as it is being reported that the director refused to work with that of James Gunn and Peter Safran. That's right, baby. James Gunn slid over some notes, and my boy Todd Phillips slid it right back over to him. I don't want nothing what you have to offer me, Mr. Gunn. In fact, I am going to make a bad movie on purpose. Now, the blame game has officially begun as to who's at fault for the failure of Joker Folie à Deux. Now, many people will agree that Peter Safran and James Gunn didn't have anything to do with it. However, I feel it is still their fault. And I'm going to tell you guys exactly why I feel that way. But first, let's get into today's news. This article comes from IGN.com. It is titled Joker 2 Director Reportedly Refused to Work with DC Studios on Sequel. Like, you're over DC and somebody's telling you, I ain't working with you. You're the boss, right? I don't understand. All right. Following Joker Folie à Deux's disastrous opening weekend, a number of reports have emerged about some behind-the-scenes drama surrounding the production, including director Todd Phillips' apparent aversion to work with DC Studios' new head honchos. Variety revealed some new details in a report on Tuesday, saying Phillips wanted nothing to do with DC, despite the fact that James Gunn and Peter Safran was named co-CEOs of DC Studios just a couple of months before Joker Folie à Deux begun production. Now, that is very important because James Gunn and Peter Safran was already in place before Joker Folie à Deux went into production. So I just want to point that out at this very moment. All right, where were we? According to the report, Phillips balked at the idea of working with DC Studios' new leadership on a latticing with Warner Brothers Motion Picture Group chief Mike DeLuca and Pam Abdy. I think that's how you say that, Abity, how you say it. It's also noted that DC Studios' new logo doesn't appear at the beginning of Joker Folie à Deux, which the Variety report says made it apparent that Phillips had given DC the middle finger. DC Studios' new logo has appeared at the front of other recent DC-related projects, including HBO series The Penguin and Christopher Reeve documentary Super/Man. A Warner Brothers rep, however, pointed out that the logo appears at the end of Joker Folie à Deux. The Variety article also notes that James Gunn and Peter Safran was absent at the September the 30th Los Angeles premiere of Joker Folie à Deux, to which a DC Studios rep told Variety that Gunn was busy shooting Peacemaker Season 2 in Atlanta while Safran was sick. So that was a lie right there. All right. Gunn, an unusual, transparent executive/creative on social media, has not yet commented on the report. IGN has also reached out to DC Studios for further comment. So, yes, this was mainly on that of Todd Phillips as far as production goes and what he brought to the table. However, as far as management goes, this is on Peter Safran and James Gunn. And I know a lot of people are going to say, man, you just hate them. No, hear me out. Just hear me out. Just hear me out here. When I was in charge of a restaurant, right, and things was already in place before I got there, years before I got there, the moment that I was hired, everything was my responsibility. We had someone, he refused to come to work on time. He was scheduled for 5 o'clock, and he always wanted to pull up at 5:05, 5:10. Now, I'm okay with the 5 minutes, but 5:10, 5:15, and he never called and said that, look, I'm going to be running late. So to me, he was being deliberate on basically disobeying my authority. So I let his ass go. You gotta go. That's right, you fired. Now he got all mad and stuff and he starts sucking up some air. But look, I am the boss. I am running this ship. And if I cannot run this ship accordingly, then the entire ship goes down. You pulling up at 5:15, you got to understand the person who's been in there on the morning shift, he ready to go home. He got things to do too. If you felt like you wanted a life that was going to extend past your work time, then you didn't need to work here in the first place. So you get what I'm saying here? Even when it came down to the food, things that people were complaining about, I had to fix them. The crab legs wasn't even being sold until I fixed it. That was my job. Someone telling me, look, I don't want nothing to do with you, even though you're over all of this, ain't gonna work for me. Well, look, hold on, stop this production right now. Let's delay that for a little bit moment until your ass come up here to this executive office and tell me what is going on. And if you don't want to do that, you ain't gonna like it when I show up onto the movie set or the day before you started to shoot your production. You ain't gonna like it. Because at that point, I'm pissed off. And I want some answers. Because I'm running this ship. If you don't like it, find somewhere else. That's what you can do. You can take your objects, or your projects and take it somewhere else. Because I am in charge. James Gunn and Peter Safran was put in charge to fix that of DC and their financial problems that they're having at this very moment. The moment you walk into the door, everything is your responsibility. If you're going to allow a director to not, pretty much invite you onto set, because that is exactly what occurred here. It seems to me that James Gunn and Peter Safran never visited the set at all. They didn't even go behind the previous regime and vet all of this stuff. And it's important. Why? Because DC Studios, I'll say Warner Brothers, because it's really not fully DC Studios. It is releasing under its banner, but it's a loss. It is an L. This film will probably lose somewhere on the range of $150 million or so, maybe 150, maybe over 80 to $100 million, definitely. And this company is $40 billion in debt right now. Come on, every dollar counts. When you're on your path to being rich, you will go back and remember, oh, you know what? I remember I saved that $100 or I saved that $1,000. That's how you got there. So right off back, you should have been all over this thing to make sure it would be up to par as to what you want to be putting out there. Because as the article says, the DC Studios logo still appears onto that of Joker Folie Adu. Yeah, you will have to sit through all of the credits to see that. But to the average moviegoer, it is still a DC film. And I see a lot of people out there trying to distance this thing away from being that of a DC film. No, bro. No. That ain't what you said back in 2019, right? When it took the highest grossing R-rated film of all time from that of It. Huh? That ain't what you said. That ain't what you said. Everybody acknowledged that it was a DC movie. Just like now. So for those out there who loves to just live into their own reality, they need to understand this. This is still intertwined with the DC brand, which is why James Gunn and Peter Safran should have made sure that this was going to be something of quality. Tell me I'm lying or not. See, people believe that one film or one good film is going to fix that of DC, or even a string of good films. Hell, we have already seen that already, right? We had Birds of Prey, Suicide Squad, and those films was rated highly, right? And what happened? Nothing. The Flash isn't rotten on Rotten Tomatoes, is it? Let me look it up. I think The Flash is still fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. So it's not like they got the popcorn spilled over there, I believe. Yeah, The Flash is fresh with 63%. It ain't certified fresh, but it is fresh. Blue Beetle. Let me see what Flash audience score is. Flash audience score says 83%. And it still flopped. And Blue Beetle, a film that didn't even move the needle, right? sits at 77%, with an audience score of 91%. So even good films isn't bringing the audience back to that of DC, because films like Joker Folia do exist as well. Waste of time, waste of money. So as heads of DC Studios, that is, it was your job to make sure that this does not get released in this kind of magnitude. And look at all of the negative headlines after negative headlines regarding this, right? It's like, you have to understand that this brand is damaged right now. Like, every time a DC film is being released, people have to speculate if they're going to go or not, because they're not enjoying themselves. And in regards to that of this Blue Beetle being at 91% and The Flash being at 81%, not too many people are watching these movies. Blue Beetle's 91% audience score is only at 2,500 verified views, or I say audiences. And it has 81% on all audience with 10,000 ratings, right? At one point in time, DC Films was being rated by like 100,000 people. You feel what I'm saying? Now they're down to 10,000 and all that there. And when we go to The Flash, see how many people watching these movies, man. Now, The Flash should be way higher than Blue Beetle. Okay, the verified audience is 5,000 ratings. And the all audience is 25,000. So that's a little bit better, but nothing along the lines of what DC was capable of, right? Just a few years ago. This is absolutely a shame, ladies and gentlemen. Joker Folia Do is an utter embarrassment to that of the DC brand. And if you ask me, it is something that is going to be very tough for Peter Safran and James Gunn to do. Because at this very moment, I feel like they ain't up for the task. They not. They ain't up for the task. They don't understand exactly what they have inherited. Like, for real. And in other DC news, we have Green Lantern, baby. Let me pull it back up here. I don't know what happened to it. We have Green Lantern right here. We got our boy Aaron Pierre has officially been cast as Green Lantern John Stewart. I was about to say Stein Jewett. John Stewart. And the other guy is that of Hal Jordan, Kyle Chandler. He is that of Hal Jordan. So the Green Lantern TV series is starting to take shape. And in regards to that of this casting of John Stewart, people are talking about the man too light. Now, y'all need to stop that. Y'all need to stop that. That man look exactly like that of John Stewart, man. It's a fire casting. As you know, everything that James Gunn does, your boy isn't really feeling it. So this is one thing that I would say that excites me. And I'm talking about the casting. I'm not talking about that of the project. There's still writing to go here, right? There's still execution and all that to go with it all. But that is pretty cool that this guy is getting this role. And it's going to be very awesome to see that of John Stewart in live action. You know, we didn't get to see it with Zack Snyder's Justice League because Warner Brothers didn't want the man to use him. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was always bad decisions regarding this studio. Even in a sea of bad, they will give you a few, good things like this casting there, but in regards to everybody else and everything else, this thing has been all over the place. This is a total mess. Joker Folia Do isn't adding anything but fuel to the fire at this very moment. That's how I feel. And James Gunn and Peter Safran, look, you took over DC Studios. You gotta own it, man. That is what it is. You gotta own it. Look, you come out instead of trying to distance yourself. Understand this. Look, this is part of the old regime. We're going in a different direction. You didn't even have to take credit for the film at all. Just understand that you are in charge. It's your direction at this very moment. Everything that is DC. You did it to the television series. You're doing it to the comic book artists. You're doing it to everybody. Right, so you should have just stepped on the man's feet as I suggested before. I'm your boy O. Hopefully you have watched this video all the way to the end, help you pull out that algorithm. And if you're not subscribed, please be sure to do so. Trying to reach that magical number of 10,000 subscribers, so I'll be highly appreciative. You will help me cross over that threshold by hitting that subscribe button. And if you are going to hit that subscribe button, make sure you hit that notification bell, because YouTube absolutely sucks at notifying subscribers that content creators has uploaded videos to their platform. And don't forget to hit that like button to help me out with that algorithm, baby. But in the comments below, let me know what you think about the situation between Todd Phillips and DC Studios. And also, do you agree with me when I say that James Gunn and Peter Safran should have marched their asses down to that set and saw what was going on and took control of that project? And also, tell me what you think about these Green Lantern castings. Always remember, let le bon temps rouler. That means let the good times roll. But let me know in the comments below.